practice the cell reference here one more time. And right now we want to make this a multiplication table from 1 to 12. And the way it's setting is like this. We don't put 1 and 2 here. It's actually referencing this information even. So starting is O17, which is this one. So that's the start number, and that B2 is this one, right? So this number is referring in that cell. So it's changed a lot. So let's look at here. In B2, this number came from O17, that's starting one, and this one is B2 plus O18, that's increment, right? O18 is 1, which is increment, so it should be 2 because 1 plus 1. But it comes with this dollar sign in front of O. Now let's look at the reason. When you check all the other cells in that row, this one is always $O18. And let's look at the case. This is O17, that's good, so that is not a problem. But when you define this cell value, it's actually B2, which is this one, plus the increment. So when you copy this formula for the next cell, B2 should be changed to be a C2, because we want to use this one and increase 1 from there. So when you see this, it's C2. So we don't need to fix B2 here, right? It should be changed like that. But the increment came from this cell should be always this, no matter which cell you choose in this row. So when you copy this one for that, B2 changed to C2 automatically because of that. But if you don't have any dollar sign in front of O18, then this part is also changed to one right side of that cell. So it's changed to P18, which doesn't have any number in there, right? So that's why we need to fix somehow this one. But the way we copy is on this same row. So this 18 should be kept right in here. So we don't need to fix number 18 because it's always 18 when you copy over here. This one must be also referred to the one right? So all we need is just fix the column. That's why we have $1 in front of O, not in front of number. Okay, so that's the reason. So if you just remove this again, and if you just copy this one, oh, be careful, it's not down, so it's just going this way, then you also got the right number like this. Okay, after you finish this one, to get this, you can type it 1, but it just refer that one, it's not a matter. And after that, to get this number, we use this A3 plus same increment. So it's nice comparison what's gonna happen here. When we use that increments for this, we want to copy that information for the cells on the same column, which means this referring number O18 should be there, not moving down. So we want to freeze that number 18 because we don't want to let it go down. O is always O because the way it's copying down is on the same column. So when you refer any cell, then it's going to be stay there, right? It's only moving down, so it's changing only the row numbers. So that's why we have only $1 in front of number, but not in front of this letter O. So after you have that, if you just copy down, you got this information. Okay, then this multiplication table should looks like equals this one times that, or this one times that, is up to you. So let me just use this one times that cell. Now let's assume what's going to happen when you copy down this formula on this column, and after that copy everything for the whole columns like this. When you look at this formula and just assume we want to copy down one more, then which part do you want to fix? This one is multiplication of 1 and 1, so for this cell it's 1 and 2. So this information should be changed according to that, which means A3 should go down to A4. So we don't need to touch anything for that part, but we want to keep this, right? So B2 must be frozen in there. But when you copy down that one for this next column, then B should change to C, right? So when you do this one, 2 must be just fixed to use these values, right? So that's why we want to have $sign in front of number 2. Okay, but for A3 should change to A4, A5. It should change according to that when you copy down this way. But when you copy this whole column for next column, then we want still you referring these columns, right? So numbers should be changed, but this column notation must be fixed, right? No matter which column we go, it always referring that column information for that part, right? So at this moment, our $sign must be in front of A to fix that column information, right? Okay, hit enter. Okay, then let's double click on here. That looks good. And dragging this whole thing up to 12, and I believe this is the right multiplication table, and this is how we use these $signs.